you very much. We will now invite our next panelist, Venerable Tenzin Celon from Buddhism. Sir, you may take your time.
Thank you, everybody. Once again, I would like to express a very good evening. I think one or two of you are new face, so I felt that most of you, maybe all of you, I have seen. So I noticed that one or two, maybe a few new face. So I forgot to introduce myself. So I'll introduce again. Okay. So my name is Tenzin Celon, and I am a lecturer at the Dalai Lama Institute for Higher Education in Bengaluru. And I teach Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist psychology, and Buddhist epistemologies. So this is my very brief introductions to you. In terms of holidays and feast, like all the Buddhisms, we most of the holidays, all are common for the Mahayana and Theravada traditions. So all are same. There is no big differences. So therefore, I don't want to go through it because one of our panelists, Dr. Anban, he already described about the Vesaks and everything, so I don't need to say anything. But when it comes to the Mahayana Buddhisms, there are few holidays which do not observed by the Theravada traditions. So if you go to my next slide, then you would see that kind of holidays. We call it Labab Tuje. This is the holiday we, as a follower of Mahayana Buddhist traditions, we observe this holiday, and we consider that Buddha went to the heaven because his mother was reborn in the heaven as a goddess, and in order to pay the kindness of his mother, he went to meet her mother in the heaven, and then he stayed in the heaven for 3 months, and he also taught many Buddhist teaching at the heaven. Then after 3 months he came back again on the earth. So when he comes to the earth, at that time many kings, many Buddhist followers, they have made a very grand welcome. So that's why today, even today, we are observing this day, we are commemorating these days. So rather than that, most of the holidays are common for all the Buddhists, all the Buddhisms between Theravadas and Mahayana. So there is no big differences. So when we are enjoying a food, when we are offering the foods, how we are going to do the practice of Dharma, how, what kind of things that we have to practice and apply in our day-to-day life, we have already discussed about this in our previous gathering, so I don't need to repeat this again here today. So I've already described this in our previous gathering, so I'm not going to say anything here. But when it comes to the Vesak uh, celebrations, I want to say that there is some kind of explanations. I don't see it comes from the Theravada traditions, because Vesak is the same month where the Buddha was born under the Bodhi tree, and where Buddha was achieved the enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, and where Buddha was passed away as a parinirvan under the Bodhi trees. So Vesak is a very most, one could say, the most important holidays for the Buddhisms. According to the Mahayana traditions, in this entire month, Vesak month, according to the Mahayana, not the Theravada, Mahayana tradition, we say that in that particular month, if you do a good thing, a practice of Dharma, if you help others, if you do any kind of meditation or practice any kind of practices, then that particular good actions, that particular virtuous actions, it can be transformed into the 100,000 actions. So this is what we believe, this is what we consider. This is our belief. This kind of belief, actually, it is described from the Mahayana tradition. It is not described from the Theravada tradition. So this is the differences. Then another thing I want to say, why we are observing all this religious holiday, why we are doing all this religious ceremonies, celebrations. We are doing all these things because as a Buddhism, we think that Buddha has his own legacies. So we as a follower, to preserve that legacies, and we have to learn what Buddha has taught to us, what Buddha has done in his life, what Buddha has taught in his textbooks, in his scriptures. So in the course of these holidays, we have to learn from the Buddha's own life, and we have to study about the Buddha's teaching, and we have to preserve his legacies. Preserves his legacies means whatever the Buddha has shown a good path, we have to adopt and practice them in our daily life. So that is the main purpose of observing these holidays. This is what I wanted to say. Then another thing that it doesn't mean that you can do the practice of Dharma, you can do the religious practice only on this particular holidays, in this particular special occasions. It is not like that. We have to practice our own religions, or our own whatever it is, the legacy of Buddha, or the life of the Buddha, or whatever the Buddha has taught to us. We have to practice that every single day. Sometimes we consider ourselves that we have to do the practice when we visit to the temple, or when it comes to the special occasions of our religions, then after finishing that occasions, then we don't care about all these good things or these religious practices, then we behave that these messages, love, like a practice of love, like a practice of tolerance, compassion, these are the nothing to do with us, so we are behaving like that. So that is not the way that we have to do. This is what I wanted to say. Then what is why we are doing, why we are observing these special occasions? Sometimes it's very useful for the particular person. Sometimes people are very busy in their life to do business, so many things, some people, they are not able to give a good time to do the practice of religions in their life. So for that kind of people, sometimes these religious occasions, like that will definitely help them to do some kind of the practice of religions, or like serving the humanities in their life. It's very helpful. So this is what I wanted to say. That's all. And if you have any kind of questions, then we will discuss about this later on. Thank you.
Let's give our sir a big round of applause. Thank you so much, sir, for that truly enlightening sharing on Tibetan Buddhism, that is the Vesak month, which combines these three significant events for Buddhists to commemorate the Buddha's birth, his enlightenment enlightenment that he received at Bodh Gaya, and of course the parinirvana, or passing away of Buddha in Kushinagar, which is known as this Saga Dava Dukyan, the auspicious day when these three meaningful events occurred on the same day, making it an immensely sacred day for Buddhists. You made a very interesting comment that acts of goodness practiced especially during these auspicious months are amplified 100 times over. It's really very, very enlightening and inspiring. You also made a reference to a very interesting festival, the festival of descent from heaven, or Labab Dukan. And you shared what makes this day so meaningful is the ascension of Buddha, that is Sakyamuni, into heaven, as an act of kindness to his mother, who passed away after shortly giving birth to him, and also descending back to earth as a fulfillment of his purpose and of compassion. You mentioned about preserving the Buddhist legacy and inculcating it in our daily lives, so that that legacy which Buddha left is perpetuated. And you shared a very profound thought that our prayerful attitudes or our peaceful practices should not be restricted or confined only to these religious festivals, but should be something that should be carried out throughout one's life. So thank you so much, sir, for adding to our knowledge with your amazing sharing.
Yeah, it was a great discussion again, and today I only focused on Passover, but I loved how Pastor Dalini covered Shavuot, as harvest is really important concept in the Bible, and I hope there will be another opportunity to talk more about this topic in the near future. And it was my first time to learn about, I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but Habab Tushen, like through Sir Tenzin, about like the Buddha coming back, and then
actually Habab Tushen is a Tibetan term.
I see.
Tibetan term. Preaching means special occasion, and Habab means actually Literally, it means a God. But here it means the Buddha. Ha means Buddha. Ha Bhat means descending. Buddha descend from the God. Heaven, sorry.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah,
So that was
Bhat
actually
means
really interesting, as I haven't heard of such stories. So it's really great to learn from each other. And yes, I'm looking forward to the next discussion.
Yeah, thank you. Good to know that. Know about it. Anyhow, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and sharing this platform, online platform, to meet all of you. It's very good, and it's a very healthy for us to preserve the religious harmony. So religious harmony doesn't mean that we sit down and eat the food together and have a tea together. That is there is another aspect of the respecting other religion, but like sharing knowledge and discussing about the other people's religions and try to learn something from the other religions. So that kind of process is essential to promote the religious harmony. This is what I believe. If you understand the other people's religion, then if you find out that you learn something which is very useful in your life from the other religion, then genuine respect will come itself. So once you develop a genuine respect, then there will be a religious harmony. You are not going to say any bad thing about the other religious followers. So genuine respect comes from the study, comes from the discussion. Having tea together, having food together, this is another form of the religious harmony, but that is not going to be a deep level. This is like a superficial level of understanding each other. But if you really want to understand each other, then we have to learn about other people's religious practices, their point of view. Then respect, understanding will develop a respect, genuine respect itself. So HWP Health has been doing all these things, and I truly appreciate. Sometimes because of my personal work, sometimes very busy in our own life, I may not able to participate every time, but sometimes it's I miss that, and truly apologize that whatever I have missed in our previous gathering. This is what I wanted to say. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your sincere impressions, sir.